Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony. My drill sergeant senses tingling, but that can only mean one thing. A Navy lieutenant is refusing to live in the barracks with enlisted men because he thinks every single one of them is delinquent criminals? Yeah! Can't we all just get along, sir? Now, this isn't my first time getting all up in the butthole of some officer who thinks he's all high and mighty, but this might be the most high on his own piss officer I have ever seen in my entire life. Lieutenant Nathaniel Allison here. Hey, Nate. Don't hate. Thought that it would be a good idea to write the Barracks Housing Authority that, hey, you know what? An officer living with enlisted men, it puts his personal safety and his family's safety at risk. And the way that he goes to shit all over the entire enlisted corps of the Navy just reeks of every meme and uppity officer stereotype that you've ever heard of. Oh, look, the enlisted men are drinking again. Grab your pistols, gentlemen. Arm yourselves. The animals are loose. Now we're gonna break down this massive mountain of military mammoth manure and talk about how shitty Lieutenant Allison thinks the enlisted men are. In the introduction to this ridiculous book report, this weak mustache, weird glasses looking pervert states that all the other officers get townhomes and he needs a townhome because he's an officer and that's what he deserves. Mommy, I want the Pokemon cards because the other boys got them too. And his little tantrum ends the paragraph in saying that if he has to pay for a hotel the entire time he's deployed there, oh, he'll do it. Well, then do it, sir. Open up that big wallet of money you've got. Make it rain on your family. Go spend some time in the hotel. Do it. Go ahead, do it. Come on, we're waiting. Now, I'm not going to read the entirety of this bullshit book report. However, the first paragraph is so ridiculously juicy, I have to read it verbatim. And the first paragraph is safety. Oh, God. He needs a safe space. Safety. I have been an investigative officer and superior officer to many deviant enlisted sailors. Oh, they're so naughty. There's a lot of crime, violent actions, drug use, and alcoholism that happens in enlisted housing. And what's wrong with that? That sounds like one hell of a good time. So far, you're just giving me positives. But how would you know if drugs are rampant? You know they kick people out for that shit. Or just, oh, there's not enough piss tests. Lieutenant Willie Watcher wants more piss tests. There are also sexual assaults and other perverts. I personally had to deal with an enlisted child molester as my subordinate. I also had to deal with man, drug, and alcohol-related problems. They're all hopped up on man drug. Now, I'm not saying there aren't a few bad eggs in the military, but you're trying to paint every enlisted man as some sexual deviant molester out here? You're the one with the perv stash, guy. Face like this says stay 100 meters away from all schools and school buses. There are often drunk and hostile sailors hanging around enlisted housing. Housing with enlisted greatly increases the risk to my family. Well, where else are they gonna drink and hang out, guy? It's where they live. You never had a backyard barbecue where you housed a few back out a little tipsy and fell asleep on a lawn chair? This guy's acting like a few drinks after work is Little Nas's little Satan lap dance video. I want to feel safe for my family every time I leave to work. This will greatly affect my mental state at work to always be worrying about my family. I have a good-looking family, a wife, and 2 daughters at ages 3 and 4. They are prime targets to be victims for these enlisted deviant activities. Did you just say you've got a fuckable family? I feel like you just told the world, well, my family is extremely fuckable, and I can't just have them walking around enlisted men with their hot, sexy family bodies just asking for it. Ooh, the man's acting like enlisted men are a bunch of brain-hungry zombies just clawing and walking their way towards your family so they can fuck them. He thinks every enlisted man should be on a watch list. Part of the fun of being in the military is being deviant. And not to burst your bubble there, Lieutenant, but there are some pervs in the officer ranks, okay? How about naval aviation? Yeah, I've heard some sick stories about your parties, you fucking group of eyes wide shut freaks? And what about that rear admiral that was shoving dildos in his pocket? Whoa! Oh, but the enlisted are gonna fuck my family. Oh, they're gonna bound and gag us in the basement. My family should be safe in housing that is with officers. Officers are much more respectable, and these type of deviant activities are incredibly rare compared to deviant activities of enlisted being commonplace. Safety is huge. Psychological impact on quality of life. This enlisted housing will increase the risk to my family and mentally cause my family and I to be worried and unhappy due to safety. Oh my God, I need hardship pay because the enlisted men, they're gonna be around us, sniffing my daughter's anus as they hump the air trying to claw at my wife's dress. Well, the next paragraph talks about support, and he needs to feel that warm embrace of support that Mama Military is gonna nuzzle up and have him suck on her tit. He says that these military barracks are isolating him away from all the other officers and things that he needs to get to on post. Fuck you, enlisted men. You could be isolated, but not me. Lieutenant Allison. Holy shit. He adds that as an officer, he can't fraternize with the enlisted men. Oh, God, we're not telling you to fuck them, sir. Just, hey, good morning, sir. How you doing? Oh, nice, Jimmy. I gotta go to work. I'll see you later. How do you even deal with the enlisted men at work? Chief, a petty officer walked by me and gave me the greeting of the day. Disgusting. He looked as though he was going to ravage me with his eyes. Quick, 30 lashes on top of the ball. Get away from me, Chief. You two have the stench of enlisted men. Other officer families will not want to visit us because our family lives in enlisted housing. And if this doesn't show how just absolutely asinine and pompous this guy is, my children need to make friends with other officer children. My wife needs to make friends with officers' wives. I need to make friends with other officers. Oh no, my friends, they're all gone. I can't talk to the pores. They're all dirty. We need to be in an actual officer housing surrounded by other officer families so my family and I can get actual support and are not completely isolated and trapped by ourselves. Well, yes, I mean, the enlisted men aren't real people, so he's obviously by himself. Enlisted men are small, primordial scum washing up on the shore to do the bidding of the officer, licking taints and boots and doing menial tasks as he dines on the finest and rarest of beef Wellingtons. I can imagine his kids in school. My dad says I can't play with you because you're enlisted and we're an officer. You're the living, breathing, walking epitome of, well, my dad's a lawyer. The last paragraph prior to the conclusion is integrity. And what this fine lieutenant with a heart of gold is trying to tell this housing people, as an officer with integrity, if I see enlisted men doing something wrong, I have to tell on them. Well, sir, maybe that's why you're there. These enlisted men are such horrible, righteous, cancerous, vile, sexual beings that you need to go into the barracks and cleanse them of their vile sins. With Lieutenant Allison at the enlisted barracks, he'll clean it up, ratting on everybody for having their dick out trying to fuck the holes in the wall or smearing shit on all the windows, because that's probably what they do in the monkey habitat that is the enlisted barracks. Lieutenant Allison will stop the rape. Lieutenant Allison will stop the thievery and drug use. Lieutenant Allison will see to it that man drug is no longer sold in the barracks. He says a few tours ago, 2 drug gangs in the barracks started attacking each other with hatchets. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you just picking up the worst possible stories gathered from all over the military branches and just trying to put it on all enlisted men as a whole? Oh, this one enlisted man shot his wife when he got back home, so they're all murderers. All are murderers. Well, this one enlisted man got drunk and he drove his car into a tree. Well, they're all drunks, every single one of them. This one officer stole a dildo. Well, it's okay. He probably had a reason. He's in charge. He's an officer. He probably, He's not a deviant whatsoever. What's that? He raped chickens and goats in the petting zoo. Well, it's, he was a rear admiral. Well, he's just letting off some steam. But these enlisted men in their man drug. He adds, what if I have to reprimand one of these enlisted men? What if I have to demote them? Holy shit, what's your fucking job, dude? You never corrected somebody while you're at your fucking job in the military? Have you ever been in charge? Well, I tell you what, you probably shouldn't be. You should definitely not be in charge if this is the way that you think. He ends integrity with, I will choose to keep my integrity and will probably make enemies in the housing complex, creating more problems and further isolation of my family. Oh boy, did you ever step in it with that line. Yeah, bud. Yeah, I think you made some fucking enemies, guy. I think you pissed off, I don't know, fucking 80% of the entire military with your nonsensical gibbering about how we're all just pieces of shit. And his conclusion, the first sentence is, forcing an officer to live in a large apartment building with almost all, I'm gonna say, with enlisted is unethical. Well, what fucking branch have you heard of that doesn't do that? Oh, the Navy, because you have to stay so separated. Wow, what a conducive environment that is, isn't it? I mean, you do it for the Air Force, you do it for the Army, you do it for the Marines, and we're doing just fine, not killing officers or ravaging their families. He ends with, please help me find housing that is acceptable for my family so we can be safe, supported, and maintain our integrity. Because if you are an enlisted man, you have no integrity, and you are not safe around them, and they deserve none of our support, because fuck them. What really throws me off here is that this fucking pedo-looking Michael Jackson wannabe started off as an enlisted man in the Army and then transferred over to the Navy, and now here he is, 03 in the Navy, thinking that his shit don't stink. I'm not one for revenge, but I know who is. I'm Dirtbag Private. And I'm not much for corporal punishment or making somebody walk the plank. However, I do have some ingenious ways as to level the playing field with this cheer officer. Because you know he's gonna let you enlisted men hang out to dry every time you do something fucked up. If somebody were to take this image of this lieutenant and turn it into a sticker for a very cheap price, and then post it all over the post, it would seem as though that lieutenant would be unable to escape his horrible decision. Wouldn't that be funny? Now, as toxic as this leadership is, it's nowhere near as toxic as an unkempt downstairs area. And as Manscaped would show you, your balls will thank you if you order this performance package. It comes with the Lawnmower 3.0. Hours and hours of battery life to make sure that you can shave your grundle area no matter how deep, dark, and hairy that thing is. Ball cleansers and ointments, moisturizers, and a whole bunch of other things just to make your downstairs area and the rest of your body feel just okay. Make sure that you use the code AngryCops20 to get 20% off of your fantastic order at manscaped.com. And they'll send you a free gift too. So shame on, privates. Shame on. Listen up, weirdos. I'm gonna need your assistance on this. At 1 million followers, I'm gonna break down my basic training video, but here's the issue. This is just the graduation ceremony. I can't find my actual basic training video. So if you were at Fort Jackson, relaxing Jackson, I know, in any of these companies and graduated on this day, if you have a basic training video of the gas chamber, oh, I'm fucking in it. Hit me up in my DMs on Instagram. We gotta get that shit right.